Hello, this is the Jefferson Music Facebook page. I'm Mr. Robinson. I teach music at Jefferson Avenue Elementary School, part of the great Seguin Independent School District. And today, I have a good friend with me. This is my friend, the tuba. I love playing the tuba. Just ask my wife and my daughter. I love playing the tuba. I'd like to tell you today a little bit about how to play the tuba, how the tuba works, and really how most instruments work. And I'd like to get you thinking, what am I going to do when I get into 6th grade? When you get in 6th grade, you have the opportunity to join the band. Maybe you play the tuba in the band. Who knows? I don't know. You also have the opportunity to join the choir. You might be in mariachi. You might be in theater. That's like acting and putting on plays and musicals. So those opportunities, those fine arts, amazing fine arts opportunities are available to you as you move from 5th grade into 6th grade. So be thinking about that. When I was in 5th grade, instead of waiting till 6th grade, in 5th grade we could choose an instrument to play. And the instrument I chose to play is the trumpet. Maybe some of you will play the trumpet in the 6th grade band. I don't know. You can also play trumpet in the mariachi, by the way. Well, so I started on trumpet in the 5th grade, played in 6th grade, played in 7th grade. Toward the beginning of the 7th grade year, Mr. Lund said, we don't have any tuba players in the cadet band. A band without a tuba player is kind of like listening to music and having the bass turned all the way down. Turn that bass up. So he said, would anybody like to play the tuba? Oh, Mr. Lund, I'd like to play the tuba. Please, could I try it out? I thought the tuba was kind of a cool-looking instrument. It was big and bold and definitely different than all the other instruments. So I tried it out, and Mr. Lund said, yep, you are going to be our tuba player. Now, that was in 7th grade. I've done some math here. In 7th grade, I was 12 years old. Right now, I'm 56 years old. That's what it says right here. 56 years old. And I did the math. 56 minus 12 is 44. I have been playing the tuba for 44 years. How can that possibly be? It's pretty amazing, actually. I love to play this instrument, and I'd love to tell you a little bit about how the tuba works. And like I say, how a lot of instruments actually work. Right now, you can hear my voice. And to hear my voice, my vocal cords have to be vibrating. Now, if you were in the room with me, what would happen is, excuse me, my vocal cords would vibrate. In fact, put your fingers right there gently on your throat and just say, hello, Mr. Robinson, I love the tuba. Or say whatever you want to say. But you can feel the vibrations right there, can't you? So those are your vocal cords creating vibrations. The vibrations, if you're here in the room, the vibrations would go out of my mouth and the vibrations would fill the room and the vibrations would also go to your ears and tickle your eardrum. And that's how we hear people's voices. Now, the same thing basically happens with the tuba. Although it's not my vocal cords that are vibrating, something else has to vibrate. In fact, whenever we hear anything, there has to be something that's causing vibrations to come and tickle our eardrums. Excuse me. So what is it with the tuba? Well, one thing that has to happen with the tuba is your air has to be great, I like to say. You have to really be moving your air. So the whole time that I was playing that first piece, by the way, that first piece was a minuet from a Bach Cello Suite. A suite means a collection of many smaller pieces. And it was written by Johann Sebastian Bach for cello. A gentleman by the name of Robert King said, I think tuba players could play that. So he arranged the music so tuba players could play it. Anyhow, for you to be able to hear that music, I have to be blowing air. And in the cello suite, you probably heard me taking a lot of breaths because there's a lot of notes that need to be played. And if there's no air, then it doesn't sound so great. Here's what it sounds like with no air. Nothing. Now, if I just blow the air through, still not quite right, is it? Now, there must be some sort of vibrations because, excuse me, because we heard a sound. If you hear a sound, then something has to be vibrating, right? Otherwise, what tickles your eardrums? But it's not the right kind of vibrations. So what we need is the lips to vibrate. So I'm going to use the air to vibrate the lips, and the vibrating lips will go into the mouthpiece. So here's the air. Here's a vibrating lips. It's kind of like if you're at the beach and you get a little piece of sand between your lips and you're like, oh, or maybe a pepper stuck there, and you're trying to get rid of it. But instead of just spitting it out, I want to go. Remember, I said you have to keep that air moving, 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 moving. Great air. Try that with me. Take a nice big breath. Now, that sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? If I take the mouthpiece off, the piece that touches my mouth, and I buzz into it, it sounds gorgeous. Okay, maybe not gorgeous. Still sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? But notice, check this out. If I change how firm or how relaxed my embouchure is, my lips, if I change how firm or relaxed it is, then I can change the sound of the mouthpiece. So I could get a lot of different notes just by changing my lips. So that's one way that you change the sound on the tuba. All right, let's go back to the air. Buzzing lips, air, buzzing lips into the mouthpiece. Still sounds a little strange, but when the mouthpiece goes in and those vibrations go through the mouthpiece, through the horn, it has this beautiful tuba sound. You might recognize that as rain, rain, go away, or seesaw up and down, sure enough. So the vibrations go through, and that's what makes a sound. Now, I said there are two different ways that you can change sounds with the tuba. One way is by using your embouchure. Check this out. If I play with a firmer embouchure, I'm going to get some higher notes. That's a pretty firm embouchure there at the end. If I loosen my embouchure, it will give me lower and lower notes. There's a pretty low sound right there. So that's one way I can change, but you may also have noticed that there are valves on the tuba. I push the valves, there's a thumb valve right there too. I push the valves with my fingers, and that kind of changes where the vibrations can go. So if I don't push any valves, then the vibrations start right here in the mouthpiece. They go through the lead pipe, come around, kind of twirl around, twirl around, twirl around, and then they go out of the bell of the tuba, right out here. The vibrations come out. Now, check it out. If I push this first valve, for instance, now the vibrations will go through here, and then when the vibrations come down this way to the first valve says, whoop, hang on, you're not just going to go straight down here, but now instead, vibrations, you're going to go through here, and then you're going to take a little detour through this tubing here, and then you're going to go down, around, 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 and then out of the bell. So here's with no fingers. It gives me a little lower sound, doesn't it, when I add the first valve to it. Okay, so, and then I have all sorts of valve combinations, don't I? I can play open, I can play first, second, third. You don't usually play third by itself. Fourth, fifth, you can do some combinations, 1 and 2, 2 and 3. You can do all sorts of combinations, and you may have noticed as I was playing the Bach piece, that I'm using different fingers, getting different sounds. At the same time I'm moving my fingers, I'm also adjusting my embouchure. I'm adjusting the firmness or the relaxedness of my lips, and that helps me to change notes as well at the same time that I'm changing notes with my fingers. Seems very complicated, but when you play in the 6th grade band, you just go step by step by step by step. And that's one reason that we work really hard on knowing our rhythms and knowing our note letters, so that those things are not such a new thing for you when you get into band or choir or mariachi. You've worked on those things. Now you have to focus on playing the instrument that you're going to learn. How do I play that instrument, and then how do I make whole notes or half notes? How do I play an F or a G or a C? So I would like to play one more song for you. This song is called the 12-month song. I'm going to do something a little different though. I'd like to start with the 12-month song the way that you know it. And then for the second section, or the B section, I'd like to improvise with the F blues. The 12-month song is based on the F blues. And then I'm going to go back to the 12-month song. Cross your fingers. I think this just might work. Here we go. If you want to sing along, you sure can. 1, 2, 2. Haha, nice. So those are the months of the year, and that's the tuba, and who knows what instrument you might play when you get into the 6th grade band. By the way, I decided since I was playing my tuba today, I would dress up and look a little snazzy. I don't get a lot of opportunities to wear my tuxedo, especially the last several weeks. Not any opportunities at all. So I said to my wife, I'm going to put my tuxedo on for this video. And she went like this. Okay, whatever. My wife, Nellen, is very patient with me and very understanding, and I love her very dearly. Hey, you know who else loves somebody else? Your teachers love you very much. Don't you forget it. And I do too. Love one another.